Church of the Savior. On Berestov, close to the economic gate, stands the Church of the Savior on Berestov, the main church of the former Transfiguration Monastery. It was built in the early 12th century. The name of the temple comes from the name of the Prince Berestovoy village, surrounded by birch bark forest. Berestovo from the 10th century was the residence of the Kiev princes. In 1240 during the Kiev invasion, the monastery was ruined. The monks of the Kiev Pechersk monastery were partly killed, some fled. It is not known how long the desolation of the monastery continued. In the 14th century, it was already resumed, and the great church became the burial vault of many princely and noble families. In 1470 the Kiev Prince Simeon Olelkovich renewed and decorated the great church.
In 1483 the Crimean army Menglija reburned and robbed the monastery, but generous donations gave the monastery an opportunity to recover soon. Since the 15th century, the monastery received the right to send monks to Moscow to collect donations. In 1555 the great church was renewed and decorated again. This life is connected with the life of the ancient Russian preacher and writer Metropolitan Hilarion, the author of the Tale of Law and Grace, 11th century. In Berestov in 1113 the Kiev Prince Vladimir Monomakh wrote a well-known legal document, the Charter of the Res, which abolished servitude for debts and reduced taxes for a loan.
The temple changed significantly in the 40s years of the 17th century, when Metropolitan Peter Mogila renewed it. Having built 5 domes, the church acquired features of Baroque. In the 18th and 19th centuries, a bell tower was added to the western wall. At the same time, Greek and Russian artists performed Velikopnie murals of the interior, in particular the composition Prayer with the image of Peter Mogila and Prince Vladimir.
In 1970 in the narthex under the frescoes of the 17th century, restorers opened a large fresco composition of the 12th century, Miraculous Fishing. The Church of the Savior was the family princely burial vault of the Monomacs. In 1138 the daughter of Vladimir Monomac, Euphemia, was buried in it. In 1157 the Prince of Kiev Yuri Dolgoruki, the founder of Moscow. In 1172 the son of Yuri Dolgoruki, Prince Gleb Yuryevich.
The construction of the temples was of great importance for the development of Ukrainian culture, since new types of religious buildings were developed. Along with it, the skill of architects and artists was improved, local art schools developed. Already in the 11th century, the monastery became a significant center of iconography and remained for them throughout the next centuries.